What's up guys? So in this video I'm going to show you how we sold 2 house and land packages, about $2.5 million worth for a custom home builder in New Zealand. So essentially what the goal was for this is, the guy's name was Cam Diak. He was looking to, he got an opportunity, build a house for a client who had a lot of land, and then he was going to subdivide that land and said, hey, if you can sell the lots, then you can make a profit on the land and also do the builds on them. So the goal for us is very simple, is to get as many leads as possible through for this opportunity, to take advantage of it, to ultimately pre-sell those lots. Otherwise, he was going to miss out on selling the land, which would have gone to an agent. So let's just walk through how we did that exactly. I'll show you step by step what we did here and how you can replicate the same. So essentially the results were this, right? 321 leads at $11.99 each, okay? Resulted in $2.5 million worth of closed deal, okay? Now exactly how we did that, I'm going to run through the flow, how you work out the sort of locations, talking about the features and benefits, and then go through the exact ad copy here as well. Okay, so the first thing that we did was we needed to work out what the flow was going to be for how we do this. So normally when you're advertising for home additions, custom homes, bathrooms, kitchens, etc., there's a very different way that people come through. So people would normally come through via direct search, or you'd have people come through looking for a consultation and that sort of thing. Now, when we're doing it this way here, we're sort of looking at a hybrid between a real estate or realtor and a builder. And so it's a little bit of a different process. So for this is all about interruption marketing. So if someone's normally looking to build a house, they'll type it in, home builder, home addition, bathroom renovation. In this case, they don't normally look for an opportunity to see a house and land package, for example. So what we did is we put these ads up in front of people, and these people were from multiple locations, and we wanted to test out which location was going to be better. So for where this guy's situated, it's approximately 2 hours or 2.5 hours away from a major city. So we wanted to advertise locally, okay, for people in that area, and also from the major city for people that are looking to move out into this area. So we decided to split the campaign up into 2 pieces, one for the city, one for the outer locations. And then the flow was going to be ad shows up, people read through what it is, and then they submit a form to get more information on the property or on the deal at hand. So that's the rough flow. Now from there, those would land in Cam's inbox, okay? And from there, he would give them a call, or he would screen through them, see if they're a good fit, and then call them and see where to from there. Now, biggest insight from this whole campaign is that if we were to do it again, we would start to use some of the things we're using now, which is AI conversations, or having a concierge calling these leads on his behalf, right? For the opportunity at hand, we wanted to get it up and running as fast as possible, and hence why we deliver these all to him. There would have been a lot more opportunity done or available in the 321 leads that came through, which we're now working with a few other developers on, okay, where they've got 10, 15, 20 properties that they want to sell, because you end up with economies of scale, right? So that 321 didn't just have 2 opportunities to buy, but there would have been 10, 15, 20 opportunities to buy. So it makes your lead cost go further across the multiple opportunities you've got. But for this one here, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so here's the 2 campaigns that we ran. It was on the social media. So this is Facebook and Instagram that we're running these ads. Like I said, interruption-based marketing. Now, results here, we got 321, not too much of a difference in split, okay, so 173 for a local and 148 were from the major city. So in here, very similar costs and everything else, but we'll just jump in and take a look at one of these a bit closer. So when we want to do the advertising on these platforms, we know what works as far as formats and specific layouts, and we have frameworks for it, but we always want to test and measure. So in this case, we had 2 separate videos that we used, right? We can use pictures, videos, we can use scrolling, things like that. But for this one here, you can see the big difference it made. We've got one here for the 3D model and one here which was more of an overview of the actual property in the area. So the difference in that was the one showcasing the local area was $11.59 a lead, and the one with a 3D model was around about $20. So nearly double the cost per lead from just changing nothing but the actual ad imagery or the video itself. So that's why you always want to have multiple options in there as far as what you're showing people. Okay, now Ultimately, what the ad looked like itself, very simple format, which you can replicate across a few different things. You just need to know the specifics. But that's why it's really, really important to follow a framework like this, okay? So first thing you want to do is call out the audience, right? And so what we're doing in here, calling out the audience. So Bay of Plenty house and land package. Now, the reason we do that is if they live in the city and they see an ad that says Bay of Plenty house and land package, and they're not interested in that, they're going to keep scrolling. However, if they are, they're going to keep reading more. Same thing locally, they're going to see that, and they automatically know where it is and what the opportunity is, okay? Dream location, lifestyle block. So it's a very specific thing that people are looking for. If someone's looking for a townhouse, or they're looking for a granny flat, or they're looking for a custom home in a sort of more residential area, then they're not going to be very interested, and they're going to keep scrolling. Now, one thing that's really important to point out is these top 3 lines are the only ones that show up when you're doing your ads, and then people can click through to see more. So this is your hook, and you really want to make sure that this is attractive, or this calls out the people that are interested, or calls out exactly what people are looking for, so that they keep reading. So taking a look on the right hand side here, you can see these top 3 lines showing up. And then as somebody finds it on their newsfeed, they can click the see more button, which will open it up bigger, and they can read more. Okay. So next thing that we want to do is we want to point out the benefits. Now, big difference between features and benefits. Okay. So if you say to somebody that a feature might be that it's got fiber internet, the benefit would be that it is fast internet for working at home purposes. Okay. So it's okay to use combination of both, but you want to try and focus more on the benefits to the person rather than just listing off a bunch of features. So let's just take a look at this. Fully fenced 4,000 square meter section. Design your dream home in paradise. Okay, ultra fast broadband ready. 2 minutes from popular cafes. 15 minutes from the beach. So that's some quick bullet points on what's not necessarily in the opportunity here, but more about the benefits of being that we're showcasing to people. Now, next piece in here is we want scarcity. So scarcity always works. All of these things are fundamental copywriting techniques, and you might not like them, but they just work every single time. So this is what we got here. Last 2 available. These won't last long. And then after the first one that was actually sold, we came back in here and we edited the ad copy and put update 1 left, which was genuine. There was one that was actually sold, contract pending. So we updated this, which ultimately then people see it, and it just shows to them, oh sheesh, there is one already gone. If we want to, we need to look at this quickly. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is exclude bad fits or have takeaway copy. So what that means is if there's people that you don't want to work with, then we want to point that out as well. Okay. So in here, if you're a first home buyer or investor, this is not for you. Now, because these are large sections, we're looking to build a custom home on it. We're not looking to have developments or anything like that. We don't want those type of people coming through. So it's really important to tell them what the people we're not interested in. But if you are looking to build your dream home in a dream location, then see below. Okay. Next thing, call to action. So how do people actually take action on your ad, and how do people actually get more information? Now, this is a really, really simple thing to do. A lot of people actually miss out when they do ads, is that they talk about themselves, or they talk about whatever it is they're advertising. Never do they actually ask for the sale or tell people how to take action. You need to treat people as children, and in which case you need to be very clear on how they can take action on what you're doing. So register your interest and get property information by clicking the button below. If you take a look at the preview on the right hand side here, you can see that when they're going to see this on their screen, there is a button down below here. There's no link in here that they can click on, so that's why we say clicking on the button below, and it's got that learn more button. So that's what we're telling them to do. Next thing in here is we want to expand upon the opportunity. So there's a few different people out there in society, those who are impulse decision makers, and they will read the first few bullet points and go, yep, want more information. Then there are other people who want a bit more information, a bit more logical thinking, and so that's why we just want to expand a bit more upon it. So this is where we just go a bit deeper on what is actually here. Okay, so we're just talking a bit more about the area, some of the benefits and things like that, just in a bit of a longer form piece. Okay, and then we always want to finish it off with another call to action, or CTA, and that's what we've got down here. It's just a repeat of the one above. We could mix this up and change the wording of it, but in this case it didn't matter too much. So there's a rough format that you can follow. So headlines, you can add multiple in here. Ultimately, this one here was just talking about dream lifestyle, dream location. Bay of Plenty is calling. Again, we're really talking about the area, because when we were advertising to the big city, we didn't want people to think that it was in the city. We wanted to make it very clear that it was in another location. So if they weren't interested, they would disappear. Okay, so last thing is, when people see this ad, they read through it, they decide, hey, this is a good fit for me. We're actually using a Facebook lead form. Okay, now the reason for this is a lot of people will link from here to a website. Now, Facebook, Instagram, all these other platforms, they want to keep people on the platform as long as possible, because that's how they make the most revenue. They're publicly traded companies, and that's what they want to do. So if we can keep people on the platform, it means that we're going to get rewarded for that. We're going to get a cheaper cost per lead, and we're going to get more leads coming through. If we send them from here off to a page on your website, you're going to get a much, much lower conversion rate on the leads coming through, if as many leads at all, right? Some people don't get any results at all doing it that way. So the downside of doing this is that you get more leads come through, typically that are a lot more tire kickers. And so it's really important that you have a filtering system in place to be able to understand what people are looking for and then decide whether they're a good fit or not. Okay, so some of the questions you can add in there, different qualifying questions like, have you got a property that you need to sell? When are you looking to build, like a timeline kind of question? Have you got finance in place? The more questions you ask, the more qualified people will be, but you will get fewer leads come through and it will cost you more per lead. In this case, again, we're wanting to move fast, get some traction coming through and get these things done. So all we were asking for is, what are you looking for in your dream home? Okay. Now the answers that come through from this are going to vary far and wide. Now if people are coming through that are time wasters, they're going to put one word answers, they're going to put, small little sort of spammy or random characters in there, that doesn't matter. You can exclude those people pretty quickly. But the people that are a good fit are generally going to put a paragraph or so of information that details that kind of what they're looking for. They've shown a lot more interest, putting a lot more effort in, and so that's what we were looking for here. The question itself wasn't necessarily super qualifying in that respect. The biggest one was just that we wanted to see who's looking for a custom home, or the people, what are they looking for, and then we could decide, okay, this guy here is looking for a custom home, something to fit a growing family in, yada yada yada, and we can then have a conversation piece to talk to them about. So from here, they answer that question, they put in their basic info, name, email, phone number, etc. And then we tell them, really, really important, hey, step one's completed. Step number 2, answer our phone call in the next 24 hours. So we want to make sure that they are actually knowing what the next step is. Quite often people will have lead ads running or ads running, and they don't get back to people in a certain amount of time, or they don't have a clear next step for people. So the clear next step for people here was to answer our phone call in the next 24 hours. So we were making sure we're getting back to people very, very quickly. There's always a button down below here as well, and in this case it wasn't too much of a big deal, but we did actually link them through to the website. So if they wanted to check us out, see who we are, they could go through there, and it built a lot of brand awareness from people clicking through here, finding out a bit more about the business. Of the people that saw this ad, there was the 321 that became leads, but there was tens of thousands of people that saw the ad itself and who saw the company, and ultimately there was a few other jobs that came in around renovations and additions and things like that, who saw the business, saw the company name, checked us out in a bit more detail. So that's pretty much the whole process here. Like I said earlier, if you wanted to make this a little bit more efficient, is to have a way of following these people up. There's a lot of cool stuff with ChatGPT and AI at the moment where you can actually have those conversations back and forward via a bot or an AI. Okay, so it just means that you don't need to be involved as much in that screening or qualifying piece. And then from there, it will pre-book a call in your calendar with people that are a good fit. So it would have probably reduced the amount of people down here from 300 probably to closer to 50 or 80. And from those people, there would have been a lot more serious conversations. But it all depends on your timing and how you're looking to get things coming through. But this is the case study that we run, the results that came from it. And if you wanted to do the same, then here's the format that you want to follow in your ads, okay? And just copy exactly what we've done there, okay? If you want any more information, feel free to shoot me a message, Facebook, book a call, contractorscale.com. I'm happy to help. Cheers.